Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn north side or right-ish side. Or just guess right diagonal side as the, what is this called again? A gray sky. We got Kaiju, number 11. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Cobalt Ice Grimm. We got unicornMath. This map has a lot of stuff going on, so I need to slow down, just take a look and try to understand what's going on. We do have a neutral base on each corner. Both players, it's basically the left diagonal versus right diagonal. There's double HQ, not labs, which I believe means if you capture one, you lose, or you win. Pick a poison. At the corners of the map, both players start with a recon and a lander on both sides as well, but different positions. This one can easily transport stuff here. There is a shore here for river crossings or shore crossings. But of course, there's also a factory here or base here, which the transport ship can move around stuff. There's also comm towers inside of each map, but it is on top of shore, so both players can get a comm tower. But in order to get there, they need to do a transport copter or lander, but clear out this recon, opponent's recon first as well. And deploying a tank or not a tank, artillery piece is a possibility. Just plant it right here, it'll help reach it, unless you're max. Then you just be sad. Additionally, both players have a black boat on their opponent's secondary airport. So there's 2 airports, 3 bases, a lot of properties, irregular funds, fog of war, and a comm tower on both sides, which can be safe, but will take a bit of time to clear out. So a lot of stuff going on. Ports on each side as well, and a decent amount of traversable land. Like battleships can push all the way up to here. Can't go into this little channel. Can only go down here as well, so maybe not super traversable battleships. There's a reef there, so you could do something where you could have a camouflage a battleship emplacement as a possibility as well. And with the nearby shore, a recon can plant, go right there and refuel it without going back to a port. So a lot of possibilities. Additionally, there is actually a decent amount of traversable shoreline for the landers there. Of course, once it gets off the HQ, it can no longer get back on the HQ. But there is possible projection there. There's a lot of stuff this map going on this map. Maybe it's a little bit too busy and starting turn 1, but either way. Grimm is the all-out offensive CO, plus 30% attack, 20% less defense, so he hits hard, but he can't take up a fall punch, which can be very, very useful. Additionally, we do have Drake, which is like the plane specialist. All units, even air units on planes, get plus 10% attack. I wonder if all the funny things that you can do with the map editor, place a ship on land, would it get plus 10% attack because it's on planes? No idea. Either way, his powers and superpowers also give a bit mobility, which also, and his superpower also gives his indirects +1 range as well. So he is a ground specialist, which can be very useful. Grimm is weird. Grimm is a CO that does well the stronger the opponent is, and he's not very good versus lower ranking CO, so he's a weird wild card CO. The increased mobility is what Grimm has trouble the most, because since his units can't take a punch, a unit coming out of the fog and punching him is a bit of a problem, and extra mobility helps out with that. So Jake could do well, but of course Grimm punches hard no matter what. So either way, let's go ahead and get started. Infantry moving towards the base. Oh no! I wonder... yeah, he should know there was a black boat there. See a bit of different movement of his opponent's infantry. It's going towards more the center rather than towards the right, so a bit of variations already appearing. And I've got an artillery piece there to clear out the airport. So Jake There's already airport over there, so I doubt he's going to try and go for double battle copter. Could. But he may want to eye this airport first to project more this way. So maybe I want to be a bit more aggressive this direction than going up here, where his airport resides. My apologies. Jake has deployed out a tank, and my apologies if I was calling him Drake. I don't know why, I get some names really mixed up. Jake versus Drake. And honestly, he's probably one of the Drake or Jake. Ugh. I'm still messing it up. Maybe one of the most forgettable COs in the game. I don't know why. I always have trouble to remember him existing. Even Dual Strike. It was not when I started listening to some Advanced Wars by webcast I actually realized was informed what his power and superpower did, because let's just say Rachel was always a pretty good strong pick when you are a young kid who did not know how to play the game, because missiles. Back when you're young, you only think like, oh, global damage, that's clearly the best COs. Oh, also equals lightning strike, because double turn. Some of the COs you just don't get a better appreciation. Got a decent appreciation for Cole when I was young. Combine, as the inverse, is one of those things like you had to be a little bit more smarter than a young kid in order to use them well. Because all you see in Combine is negative 20% penalty of cost. We got multiple tanks now being pulled up by Grimm, so they're going to hit like a truck, but also it is Fog of War. There's a lot of force in the middle of the map for ambush. They will do good. They will be very good, to say the least, when they hit something. But of course, as an artillery piece, it's hard to make them good value sometimes. Both players cleaning up their opponent's black boats. Nice thing about cleaning up the black boat as well is not only you get the airport, but also just better mobility in this region as well, because you can't project out this region without any sort of tracked or wheeled vehicle until that gets removed. Even infantry will have trouble because they have to go over the mountain. Mechs, they don't care. Recon tank now being deployed in the field. Does take out that black boat. It looks like Jake is on this bottom right down. Transport copter, tank, infantry. So both players gone for double artillery. That was like a pretty good hit there. Multiple tanks now being deployed on the field. Both players want their comm tower. Grimm wants to punch even harder. And we're now starting to see the center of the map, the axis of the front line to be established, and conflicts soon to erupt. Right now, Grimm does have 2 property advantage. I see Jake is going to capture 4 properties next turn. Grimm's currently trying to capture 3. Looks like Jake's transport copter does see 2 points or 8 points of damage from 2 health recon. So we got 3 artillery pieces by Jake. That he does get a increased capability with his indirects with +1 range. That's pretty nice. I wonder if I were to CO chart up here, I can bring that up. It is +1 indirect range as well as with his power as well. I keep needing to remind myself what he gets. So +1 indirect range does make sense why he's going for heavy indirects, even though they may not be in planes when they attack. Gets a good strike there. But hidden artillery piece is still always quite good. He does have his power now, but he doesn't really need to pop it. Hitting this tank here is not won't provide enough power or provide enough value. So keep the power up. He can always go for power or superpower later on. And plus, even if he does have a superpower available, you can always go for his power because sometimes you just don't need your power. Plus 20% attack firepower on planes is pretty good. 40% is also excellent, but sometimes just overkill. And +2 movement speed with all land vehicles is very, very good when it gets a superpower as well. But there's no +1 movement speed in his power. Oh, getting some sound bugs there. Looks like you can see here, Jake ended the turn with nearly the same value as Grimm, but Grimm has, of course, his day-to-day income, so Grimm is ahead by 1 turn value. Knuckle Duster. Okay, I was not expecting that. This will give him, what, plus 40% extra firepower? Increased to 50%, so it gives him plus 20% of his current, so that is a lot of firepower plus 1 comm tower. Oh. He's not getting his comm tower captured. Oversight there. There's a common oversight for players. Not capturing comm tower at the start of your turn. You're losing at 10% power. Yep, that could change the outcome of that skirmish. Now his one has taken some damage. Property has been captured down in the bottom right. And now he captures the comm tower. He probably is going to be beating himself up over that. We've all made that mistake. So you are not alone. He does go for tank, battlecopter, recon, and infantry. They can count for his power. I don't see enough conflicts to really warrant it. Artillery piece gets a good strike there on the infantry. Takes out that recon. Jake will probably get a superpower next turn. And +2 movement speed on all vehicles does not affect infantry. He is going to be quite important, and Grimm has trouble with mobility superpowers and powers because the only way you can really prevent taking damage to them is just simply staying out of range. You're either alive or dead. There's no in between for Grimm. And extra mobility means it's easier to reach. Hard to stay out of range. Battlecopter pulled up by Grimm once again. It's a good strike there. Does not see the Drake artillery piece, which with his power and superpower, this tank would be in range, but vision would be another matter since on top of a forest. Jake will probably need just to be defensive down here. He is lacking a lot of stuff. He does have a decent amount of forces up here, so he can go and try to punch through, try to threaten this HQ. It is surrounded by shores, so the plane's benefits will not apply unless its artillery piece gets in range. In which putting artillery piece here would make him in range, and would receive his potentially up to 40% firepower. I have no idea how a 40% boosted artillery piece on a planes versus a 4 defense lander, what the outcome of that would be. There's a bit of audio bugs. I'm getting some audio bugs here. My apologies. Neo tank, infantry. Let's see what Grimm does. He may give his opponents a superpower this turn. Looks like he's just positioning himself, ready to be hit by Jake's superpower. But he may not pop it if he doesn't have enough targets. Yeah, he's trying to pull back, but it may cede him a lot of ground. If he just decides to push forward a little bit, then his opponent will just fall back a little bit and he'll be pushed off the map in that aspect. And Jake should not pop his superpower unless he has enough targets. Additionally, there's a whole line of cities here that could be forfeited if he is giving up too much ground. Yeah, so far looking pretty good for Jake. Now threatening multiple properties to his opponent. They are currently equal income, and having 3 properties flipped would be massive. The artillery piece is now in superpower range of the lander as well. And right now, 1, 2, 3, 4. The tank's out of range. Dude, it's not looking good for Grimm. Granted, the artillery piece would be on a 4, so it doesn't get plus 40% firepower. Sound? Jake now has a superpower. Recon interrupts. Infantry gets a hit there. Infantry gets hit. Interrupts. Fully stops the capture. Okay, this is exactly what needs to sort of get back in the game. Interrupts all 3 captures. Tank on the forest, which could be spotted by one health infantry units. Yep, we're going to see Jake's superpower. Grimm is advancing, but he's going to be a bit exposed. It's a good first strike there, but there's 2 battle copters out of his vision range. Was this enough for Grimm? Oops, I hit the previous turn. Right now, Grimm looks like Jake has more valor in the field, and here comes his superpower. That was from the artillery piece, because a good strike there. Takes out that unit. Didn't stand a chance. Starting to disintegrate pretty badly. That is dead. That's dead. Joining captures. I wonder how much damage that is. Let's take a look at the calculator. Probably should move this a little bit. That'd be good. %112% at 9 health. Sure, it's only missing 1 health, but still, a lot of firepower. Didn't even come close of surviving. Now we could see a what's it called, not Knuckle Duster, Haymaker. Oh no! That's probably dead. Yep, I'm curious about that as well. How much damage is that going to do? With a high luck roll, he could perhaps one-shot it, but he got a middling luck. I can't speak. Dead. He does have a good number of tanks followed, but he has nothing to stop that Neo tank. A Haymaker Battlecopter could do some good work. And he also has moved his lander off the HQ, so it is somewhat exposed now. Let's see. Jake's going to end the turn with 185,000, 186,000 versus going to start a turn which is approaching 128,000 with his 30,000 banks, so he is down by 30,000. Knuckle Duster, not Haymaker. He's going to make do with his regular power. He's going to try to follow up with another Knuckle Duster next turn. Hey, if that's all the firepower you need, he's one-shotting all stuff, so that was definitely a good call to go for regular power. Spots in the Neo tank, which I think he already saw it. Falls back, trying to get some tanks some healing. Battlecopter, tank, anti-air, recon. I'm sure the priest gets a good strike there on the anti-air, and he does still need on the region. And that's going to be trying to flip that property. Grimm's ahead by one property at the moment. Being sauce against good damage on multiple units. Grimm could get another Knuckle Duster next turn. Just need a little more power charge. I'm guessing around 10,000 funds worth of power charge, if I hazard a poor guess. Nope, just needs about 5,000. That's easy obtainable, but would there be enough there to make it warranted? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, some tank there. He fires an infantry unit trying to stop the capture flip rather than firing on the artillery piece. Oops. Did I just hit next turn? Oops, yep. Whoops. There we go. Good strike there. Battle complements the infantry unit. Recon push way forward. More forces advancing. Tank takes out the tank. Knuckle Duster is now available. But Jake is a bit more than a turn ahead. But another Knuckle Duster could be quite useful relatively soon. Grimm does have a Battlecopter here. I don't know how the Knuckle Duster Battlecopter is versus Neo Tank, but would definitely be a cost-effective engagement, that's for sure. Will it be cost-effective enough? Right now, Grimm's losing a lot of ground on the right side of the map. He does have some defenses on some forests, but that's about it. Was he in Knuckle Duster this turn? Immediately. He wants the extra firepower. Battlecopter versus Battlecopter violence. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Tank Takes a swing at the Neo Tank, got 3 points of damage, received 3 points of damage, so that's a good trade. Tank. Neo Tank almost goes down, it's basically knocked out. Recon falls back. Infantry engage the infantry, has 6 capture progress left, so the next turn will be 2. So it's harder to stop that capture. Right now they have equal income. Good strikes there. Just falls ever so short. Battlecopter. Another artillery piece, infantry. Another battlecopter there. Now Grimm's at 0 funds. I don't know why, it's been a while since the last seen exactly 0 funds in the middle of the match rather than start. And here comes Block Rock. +2 movement speed is going to be massive. +1 range, so the artillery piece has its pick and could take a good shot on the more exposed one there. Annihilates it. Annihilates that one. Takes off the anti-air. Battlecopter from the planes gets a massive hit. We know how effective that is. Join captures once again. The action movement speed really did come in handy. And going down, the extra mobility is making Grimm disintegrate pretty quickly. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Tank. Oh yeah, look at that difference. I could have sworn I've seen that value difference before. Takes out the battlecopter, a good little pick. Tank. You can tell Jake's turns are much longer than Grimm's. And the artillery piece is moving its way forward. The artillery piece is down to 2 ammo, which may be enough to take out that lander. You may want to start eyeing to capture HQ, try to win the game. It'll flush Grimm out, force him to charge forward, leave him more exposed to take out. There's no defense stars there. He already has bad enough defense, but even less defense is even horrible for him. So I think Jake should start eyeing to threaten the HQ. It'll flush him out, and he'll be easily taken out. Grimm does have 3 battlecopters down south for them. That is a large number of battlecopters. Couple shots down the lander. Grimm or Jake may be able to start threatening that HQ next turn. Sacks his lander. I think that's down to 1 health. Yep, 1 health. Forces 2 anti-airs there, and Jake's battlecopters are neutralized effectively, but the 2 anti-airs means Grimm's battlecopters are doomed. Interrupts the capture there. Grimm is behind by 1 property. Many battlecopters by Grimm. Grimm's losing a massive number of battlecopters. And now do have a haymaker available, but I don't think there's anything left for the haymaker. Look at that. There's pretty much nothing left that Grimm has on the front line. And even if Grimm does pop his haymaker and just charges forward, Jake will just counter with a block rock and probably finish the game. Over on the right flank, it is Jake's. On the left flank, it's going towards Jake. And in the center flank, it's Jake's. This feels like Jake's game. Right now, he's going to end the turn with about 190,000 units in the field. And Grimm has written starts the turn with less than 100,000. Still has 25,000 in the bank. Knuckle Duster, not Haymaker, which is going to be nice and all. Get some good first strikes there, but there's not much to this Knuckle Duster. And does resign there. Could have popped superpower for style points, but either way, this Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.